today on GameSpot TV. Gaming Goes Hollywood as big actors go for the small screen. Stars James Earl Jones and Michael Biehn try their hand at Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. We have the exclusive. And there's medieval monsters lurking in our preview of the side-scrolling action title Soul Fighter, destined for release on the Dreamcast. And get ready for it. We have Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and the rest of the WWF pile driving their way onto your console in WWF Attitude. Stick around. It's game time.
Hello and welcome to another edition of GameSpot TV, your ultimate guide to computer and video games. I'm Lauren Fielder.
And I'm Adam Sessler. Now, Westwood Studios is utilizing Hollywood's star power to spruce up the in-game movies for Tiberian Sun.
And while celebrities are found in games pretty often these days, we still wanted to go and check it out.
Quiet down. I'm rolling video.
Action!
Set under the hot desert sun in Las Vegas, Nevada, Westwood Studios filmed the movie cutscenes for their real-time strategy game, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun.
1, 2, 3, left!
And just in case storyline and gameplay were not enough to attract gamers, Westwood employed several TV and movie stars, including Hollywood legend James Earl Jones and Terminator star Michael Biehn, who plays the game's hero, Commander McNeil.
Good to see you again, Mac.
We're just telling a story inside of the game. And we're just like, it seems to me what we're doing is we're leading the game player up to a point and say, okay, now you take over, and they take over with the game playing. They cut back to me and go, whew, man, attacking that supply base is really tough. Now I think we should, go rescue Umagan.
Send reinforcements right away. God damn it. Makes no sense.
Playing the GDI's General Solomon, James Earl Jones, who was Darth Vader's voice in the Star Wars movies, sees Tiberian Sun as a chance to learn and add something new to his repertoire.
It's a lot of fun, and one learns a great deal too about that craft. It's a special craft, and so I suspect that'll happen with the CD-ROM too.
Action!
As with many of today's movies using computer graphics, the biggest challenge for the actors was acting in front of the blank screens. This forces them to pretend to see, hear, and react to non-existent characters and actions. Other than that, Michael says it's a regular movie shoot.
As far as the acting goes, no, I mean, the camera's the same, the sound's the same. You know, the lighting, the waiting, the call times, the caterer, the lunch.
If I'm cut, do I not bleed?
As many of us expected, Kane is back. The ever-so-subtle leader of the Brotherhood of Nod returns and is played by Westwood's own Joe Kukin. Kukin is also the director of the movie cutscenes.
As a director, it's a joy to work with such actors, mostly from a lazy point of view, because it makes my job so much easier. I pretty much plan on sitting in the motorhome and just phoning all my directions in, because they're going to be so good. How much of me do they really need?
The third in the series, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, is a real-time strategy game set 15 years after the first game ended. The storyline revolves around the conflict between the terrorist group Brotherhood of Nod and the Global Defense Initiative.
Get me McNeil.
In-game movies have their share of critics, but the Tiberian Sun shoot seems to have a purpose outside of gaming. Westwood is planning to produce a Command & Conquer movie for the big screen and is actively searching for a movie studio. We can only hope for the best. We've been harassing Westwood to learn more about Tiberian Sun, the movie. So far, no luck, but as information trickles in, we'll keep you posted.
And now, let's check the game news.
In this week's game news, in an exclusive worldwide announcement, VideoGames.com reports that the latest incarnation in Eidos' Tomb Raider series will be called Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. Entirely set in Egypt this time, the new title places emphasis on improved gameplay, including more puzzles, and a polygonally enhanced Lara. In addition, The Last Revelation's engine has been given a major facelift, and the game will incorporate seamless transitions between gameplay and FMV sequences. Look for it on both the PC and the PlayStation this November. id Software released its updated version of the Quake 3 Arena Test. This version includes a new map, weapon, team play mode, and improved graphics performance. The test is being used to assess the game's performance before its November release, and players are encouraged to write to id with bugs they find in the test version. And while console hype has been focused on the upcoming launch of Sega's Dreamcast, game publishers have been quietly building teams to support both the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo's Dolphin project. Recently, announcements from Titus, Square, Koei, and Acclaim all imply support for the development of titles on both of these next-gen console systems.
If you're looking for more gaming news, you can always find it at GameSpot.com and VideoGames.com.
And to find our E3 impressions and real video gameplay of Westwood's next big game, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, go to the GameSpot TV website.
Coming up on GameSpot TV, grab your quarters as we head for the arcade to look at Atari's latest machine in the Rush series, San Francisco Rush 2049. And the elves and humans are at war in our review of Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor for the PC. Plus, get ready for mayhem with our preview of WWF Attitude.
Welcome back. Adam, what was your favorite arcade game?
Well, probably the sit-down driving games like Grand Prix or Outrun, but that tended to get old kind of quickly.
What, sitting down or the games? Well, Atari has added some new features to this type of driver, and we sent EGM editor Wataru Maruyama to check it out.
Hey, we're here at a local arcade. We're checking out Atari Games' latest, San Francisco Rush 2049.
The latest in the Rush series places the player 50 years in the future, and you become a sort of ultra-modern gold prospector in a really fast car. The goal of this racer is, of course, to finish first, but you have the added objective of collecting gold coins in underground mines located throughout the city. There are 4 new tracks in this version of Rush, as well as numerous shortcuts, though we found the shortcuts to be a bit longer than they should have been.
One of the new features of 2049 is the keypad entry system. It allows you to enter a phone or PIN number, and it saves your name, your preference, and also what type of car you selected, or what type of automatic or manual transmission that you want. It also networks the information, so you're competing with best times from all across the country.
With its beefed-up hardware, force feedback steering wheel, and the ability for arcade owners to link up to 8 machines, San Francisco Rush 2049 is sure to be a must-have. Look forward in arcades this August.
And now, out of the arcade and into the future.
The cult classic game System Shock is going into its second incarnation, and we have the preview.
February 3rd is the day the magic happens.
The original System Shock was released almost 5 years ago and is considered a cult classic. Since then, Shock's loyal fan base has been clamoring for a sequel. Well, it looks like the squeaky wheel does get the grease because System Shock 2 is soon to be released.
Imagine being able to travel to distant star systems in a period of weeks.
Like the original, System Shock 2 can be considered a first-person shooter with heavy role-playing elements. And like its predecessor, Shock 2 will use a system of email, logs, and cutscenes to tell the story. In addition, gamers will also see ghostly apparitions who will act out past events.
Please, let me out of here.
While System Shock 2 will be an interesting single-player experience, it will also support up to 4 players in multiplayer mode and offer a co-op mode for those players who enjoy working as a team.
I am Shodan.
And of course, fans of the original can look forward to the return of Shodan, the computer personality that terrorized players and made it hard for gamers to sleep at night. Look for Shodan when System Shock 2 is released August 11th.
From supernatural space odysseys to the classic Quest, our next game takes you into the realm of fantasy.
So, friends, through a land of elves and goblins, we have Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor on the grill. Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor follows the same formula as past games in the Might and Magic series. There are a lot of monsters to fight, lots of quests to undertake, and lots of levels to be gained. But this time out, New World Computing has added something that had been lacking in previous versions, a cohesive story.
Killed at least half a dozen of them.
Might and Magic 7 takes place in the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Kingdom of Arathia. Humans and elves are at war. And as a lord of the realm, you are responsible for naming a successor after the arbiter of war dies. Your decision will have a dramatic effect on the rest of the game. Each side has advantages and disadvantages. Areas that may be safe for the followers of light are treacherous for the followers of dark, and vice versa. Graphically, the engine is crude by today's standards, and even with 3D acceleration, the game doesn't look that great. However, character portraits have been improved, and the animated renderings when you enter a building are really nice.
Please be on the lookout for our missing contestants.
The combat system remains the same as in number 6. Players can alternate between real-time combat and turn-based combat, and gamers should prepare for a lot of combat. Overall, Might and Magic 7 is an enjoyable and compelling game that doesn't stray far from the Might and Magic formula. Ron Doolin of GameSpot.com gave Might and Magic 7 Blood and Honor a rating of 8.3 out of 10.
Run for your lives.
Are Bats Maru and Pandava getting the best of you?
Well, I'm having real trouble seeing all of Kitty's different outfits.
Don't fret, Adam. This cheat may just help you out.
All right. Having trouble getting past those cute yet frustratingly difficult levels in Hello Kitty's Cube Frenzy? When the push start graphic appears on the title screen, press up, up, down, down, left, right, down, up, and you will hear a sound. Then press start, and you'll be able to access all characters, hidden modes, and most fulfilling of all, discover whatever became of Bats Maru and the ending FMV sequence. Coming up on GameSpot TV, you better recognize just who the hell they are. We have D'Lo Brown, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker in the upcoming release of WWF Attitude. And we're going on an epic journey in our review of the medieval strategy title, Total Annihilation Kingdoms.
Welcome back. It's time for some pile-driving action with the likes of The Undertaker.
Yep, if you haven't guessed already, we're responding to your endless stream of emails. It's soon to be released, so we're showing you a preview of WWF Attitude for the N64. There's some things that can get gamers salivating, and one of them's pro wrestling. And there is little doubt that one of the most anticipated titles of the summer will be WWF Attitude.
Nice slam there.
What you see here is the N64 version of the game, coming from the same team at Acclaim that brought you WWF Warzone.
Goldust is game!
And if you played Warzone, then you can expect there to be a long list of big-name wrestlers from Stone Cold to The Undertaker. In fact, there will be 41 named wrestlers in all, with the addition of 15 jobbers. Fictional characters who come in to get their faces smashed.
Bring me a body bag.
All wrestlers will have signature moves, and all superstar wrestlers will have one finisher and 1 to 3 trademark moves. All in all, you'll have 400 moves at your disposal. Unlike in Warzone, weapons will be available at all times. You can turn them on or off, or just grab a chair or table and swing with all your might. The creative player mode has been expanded. You will now have separate eyes, noses, and mouths to choose from, as well as moves, including the signature moves. In effect, you can make a wrestler that plays like a combination of all your favorites.
Cow Patty's in a tough spot now.
On top of all this, you can save your creation and truck on over to your friend's house for a rumble. The game will include 19 game modes and promises to run at 30 frames per second. Plus, it promises to include as much speech as the PlayStation version.
You better recognize!
Get ready to talk smack to the screen in late August. Now, the PlayStation version of Attitude has just hit the shelves, so you can expect the review very soon.
And now, if you're a real-time strategy fan in search of an epic quest, you may want to pay close attention to our review of Total Annihilation Kingdoms.
Friends, fear not the dead.
In 1997, Cave Dog Entertainment had a breakthrough hit with the real-time strategy title Total Annihilation. And now they're trying to reclaim the interest of fans with Total Annihilation Kingdoms. Kingdom's single-player campaign spans almost 50 missions, each of which is preceded by nicely executed documentary-style cutscenes. And while the cutscenes are compelling and set the stage for upcoming battles, the missions themselves are just not as interesting.
All hell broken loose.
The graphics in Kingdoms are more detailed than Total Annihilation. However, because the units are of a more organic nature than the robotic units of the original, the graphics come off looking jagged and indistinctive. The Kingdoms 3D engine is an only slightly enhanced version of the original. It makes limited use of 3D acceleration and really doesn't take advantage of your card. Probably one of the most disappointing aspects of Kingdoms is the way the sound is misused in the game. Clearly influenced by Blizzard's character-driven strategy games, the sound effects and audio cues in Kingdoms are mediocre and sometimes just plain non-existent. Better sound would have gone a long way in giving the game a personality and depth. Overall, while Kingdoms does include 4 different factions and an interesting story, the gameplay just doesn't stack up to the original. Greg Kasavin of GameSpot.com gave Total Annihilation Kingdoms a rating of 6.6 out of 10.
You know, Adam, there are plenty of games developed for both the PC and the console. There's Tomb Raider, Rogue Squadron, a bunch of sports games.
Yes.
Just a couple.
Well, some of them are good, and some of them do not translate all that well. Now, Command & Conquer has made it to the N64, so how will it fare? Real-time strategy has been a staple of PC gaming for years, but whenever these games have tried to make their move to a console system, the result is always lower resolution and shoddy controls. Command & Conquer for the N64, while having some clunky qualities, almost manages to skirt these problems. Affirmative. The story is an involved one, detailing the loveless relationship between the GDI and the Brotherhood of Nod. And like any real-time strategy game, it focuses around resource management. You earn money by harvesting Tiberium and turning it into everything from machine guns to tanks. Those who are familiar with the previous console versions of Command & Conquer should be pleasantly surprised with its presentation on the N64. Completely in 3D and supporting the expansion pack, it's much easier to tell if you're looking at a minigunner or a grenadier. The speed and frame rate vary throughout the game. It almost scrolls too fast in the beginning of missions, but starts to get choppy when major confrontations occur. The control is the best thought out for a real-time strategy game on a console. The C buttons are used to assign and recall various teams, and the analog stick controls your pointer, though it's not as precise as the mouse. The game features both campaigns from the original game and some separate special ops missions, and while the game lacks multiplayer, it is sensible since the split screen would prevent surprise attacks. All in all, if you can handle clicking and dragging with the analog stick and the A button, this Command & Conquer is worth checking out. Jeff Gertzman from VideoGames.com gives it a 7.6 out of 10. For the full review of Command & Conquer for the N64 and the full preview of Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, go to the VideoGames.com website.
And if you want to watch the real video of WWF Attitude again, just go to GameSpot TV's website, where you'll also find our interview with D'Lo Brown. He stopped by the GameSpot TV office and gave us the scoop on what's going on.
Coming up on GameSpot TV, having trouble with your moves? We have a strategy guide for air guys. And there's medieval monsters lurking in our preview of 3D action title Soul Fighter, destined for release on the Dreamcast. Welcome back. It's time now to battle skeletons and unpleasant monsters.
We have a preview of the Dreamcast fantasy title Soul Fighter.
Once upon a time, side-scrollers were all the rage, from the 8-bit NES to the 16-bit SNES. But then times changed, and the genre faded from the radar screen. Clearly, this affected the folks at Piggyback Entertainment, because their game, Soul Fighter, for the Dreamcast, attempts to recapture the joy of those early gaming days. Soul Fighter takes the gameplay of games like Golden Axe and Final Fight and gives a medieval fantasy setting, and throws in motion-captured animations and a horde of enemies for good measure. The game will include over 40 different enemies, with each having 44 different respective animations. This will all be played over 6 worlds each, with 10 sub-levels. As the player, you can choose between 3 characters who come with their own special moves, weapons, animations, and endings. While the game is looking good, the big question surrounding it is whether or not it will support multiplayer play or just focus on single-player slash-em-ups. Look for Soul Fighter when the Dreamcast is released in September.
Whether it's the Dreamcast, the N64, or the PlayStation, there's a veritable cornucopia of controllers out there. And arguably one of the best is Sony's DualShock analog controller. But what about the others on the market?
Yes, are they any good? This is why EGM Sean Smith is back with yet another PlayStation controller.
If you're looking for a new PlayStation controller and you want an all-in-one package that has dual analog support, shock support, and motion sensing technology, then take a look at the Tilt Force 2 by Pelican Accessories. On top of having all the standard features you'd expect in a PlayStation DualShock controller, the Tilt Force 2 also has motion sensing technology, which means you control games by moving the controller up and down and left and right. For $30, the Tilt Force is a high-quality DualShock type controller by itself. The motion sensing technology is really a bonus.
I think the DualShock analog controller still holds its own.
I think so, but even with a great controller, you still can have problems with the mini games and air guys. So we have some expert gamer tips for you. Multi-hit combos and super moves can wear down even the best console fighter. Trust me, I know. Air Guys by Squaresoft has these little gems, and we shall call them mini games. But don't underestimate the test. Winning them can unlock various secrets. Prepare for the challenge with these expert gamer strategies. To get the most points in the Infinity Battle, try to get perfects in at least the first 4 matches. This will allow the character to build up his or her life meter reserve. Expert Gamer recommends using Yuffie or Sasuke for their unblockable attacks and combos. The strategy in winning the Battle Runner minigame is avoid fighting, just run the race. During the race, run close to the inside, set the laps to 3, and choose the basic loop for an easier win. If you're a fast button tapper, you're a Battle Beach shoo-in. Winning all the events unlocks a new character costume. Go! Another tip is to beat the opponent at the start. The player must start tapping the buttons at the exact time the announcer says go. Battle Panel is like a fast-paced game of Othello. To win, you must surround your opponent's color with your color. It's probably the most challenging of the mini-games. To get the edge, quickly analyze the board. Attack your opponent to slow him down, and concentrate on getting the edge and corner pieces. So, fighting fans, don't get intimidated. Give your brain a little exercise, because in these mini-games, size doesn't matter.
If you want more strategies, just pick up an issue of Expert Gamer. And for more game help, drop by the GameSpot TV website for cheat codes.
And if you want to chat with me and Lauren, join us on the web every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And don't forget to enter our Pokemon contest, where you have a chance to win a Game Boy Color and more. Go to our website for more information.
So until next week, bye.
Run for your lives.
If I am cut, do I not believe?